wanted to come and introduce myself. My name is Joe. I live in Ohio. I want to talk about, let's talk about my first boyfriend. Let's call him Bobby, okay? So I went out one night, like I did almost every other night, going to the gay bar, which is in Wheeling, was in Wheeling, but it was called Tricks. I mean, you probably all saw my video about me growing up gay, and I have a lot of pictures there. But anyway, I remember one night I went in there and just going in to dance and have a few drinks. And I just noticed this guy with blonde hair sitting with this other guy. And he looked kind of down, and he looked kind of sad. And it bothered me, you know, deep down in my heart, because I can just tell that something was wrong. So I went over to him, introduced myself. I said, "Hi, I'm Joe." And he said back, "Hi, I'm Bobby." And I said, "Can I get you a drink?" And he said, "No, I'm fine. I got a drink right here." And I said, "Oh, okay." He said, "You mind if I sit down next to you?" And he said, "Yeah, sure." And he looked at his friend kind of like, who is this guy, you know? I mean, why is he talking to me? And I just came right out and told him, I said, "You know, I saw you across the room, and I could just tell there was something bothering you. And I just wanted to come over and say, would you like to talk about it?" And he gave me this look like, I don't know, it was like a look like, I don't believe you. And he said, "Yeah, I would." And I said, "Okay, I'm here for you. What happened?" And he proceeded to tell me about his ex-boyfriend and how he caught him cheating on him, and how he abused him. And to make a long story short, he started telling me about, what happened. So I proceeded to, not get on him or anything and try to make a move on him or anything. I was just sort of like trying to make him happy. So, make a long story short, we became really close friends, up to the point where I caught feelings for him. And we did a little goofing around here and there, which was, with me, him, and his friend. Let's call him Todd, okay? So, how that came about was I was living in this apartment building in Wheeling. And Bobby and Todd were living, I don't know where they were living, but anyway, Bobby called me and said that they needed a place to live. And he was asking me, "Do you know any places around Wheeling that, we could move into?" And I said, "You know what? For a fact, there's an apartment in my building right now that the people just moved out of." I said, "I was on the 3rd floor, and the apartment that got vacated was on the 2nd floor. And I said, if you come over tomorrow, I'll make sure that the landlord's here so you could talk to him." And he said, "Great." So anyway, Bobby and Todd took that apartment, and they were both gay, and I was gay also, and I sort of liked Bobby. So I spent, they would spend time, drinking and having fun in my apartment. I would go down to their apartment. Todd was let's see, how can I put this? He was a drag queen, okay? And he just loved to perform for me. He would put on his whole getup, his wig, his makeup, and he would, perform for me and want my opinion on it. So Todd would, get all made up, and, he would perform for me. And sometimes he would flirt with me. And I didn't really care for Todd because he wasn't really my type. And so anyway, Bobby and I got really close as friends. To the point that, like I said, I started catching feelings for him. And, the three of us, played around a little bit like any three gay guy friends would, it was always, I don't really want to go into that right now because I'm kind of a shy person, but you can imagine, okay? But anyway, our friendship lasted for about a year, well, more than a year, I'd say. It lasted for a good 3-4 years before I caught feelings for Bobby. And I always had feelings for Bobby until the point that Todd found a boyfriend. He moved out. So Bobby was living in his own apartment by himself, and he would always talk to me and tell me how lonely he was and that he didn't like living by himself. So that was the time when he was up in my apartment telling me all this. I thought, maybe this is the time for me to come clean with him and tell him. And I told him, I've got feelings for you, and I always have. And if you want to, I would like to be your boyfriend. And at first, I think Bobby wasn't too keen on the deal because he sort of looked at me dumbfounded because he probably never thought the same way I did. He probably only thought of us as friends. He probably thought of us just as friends. So when I told him how I felt about him, it took him back a few steps. And I told him, I said, it's hard for me to admit this now because I regret it, because I sort of told him that I have feelings for him, and that I don't know if he doesn't be my boyfriend, I don't know if I could still be his friend. And I don't think that was fair of me to do to him, because it was selfish on my part, because I felt like he wanted to stay as friends. But when I told him that if he didn't become my boyfriend, that we couldn't be friends anymore, he said okay. Because I think he didn't want to lose me more as a friend than being my boyfriend. But we were together for at least, I'd say, 4 years before Bobby started straying away. He would stay out late at night after work, saying that he had to do this, that, or the other thing. And of course, naive little me would say, okay, yeah, fine, I understand. And of course, I never thought anything, because together we were fine. But there was just little signs that I could sense. And not until some stranger came knocking at the house, and I answered the door when Bobby wasn't there, and this guy was standing at the door, and when I opened the door, he sort of looked at me in shock and said, "Oh, is Bobby home?" And I said, "No, why?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm just a friend of his that he met the other night, and I was just wondering if he was home." And I said, "No, he's not home right now. He's at work." And he goes, "Oh, okay. Tell him." He goes, "Okay, thanks." And he walked away, and he sort of scurried away, sort of like he was scared of me, like he didn't know that Bobby had a boyfriend. And that's when I started thinking, I think he's cheating on me. So I'm going to leave you at that for right now, and I will continue this story next time on a new video. So for right now, you all take care, and take care of each other, and be kind. And until next time, this is Joe saying goodbye.